This video is about creatine and whether creatine causes hair loss or not. There's this myth that creatine does cause hair loss. In this video, we're going to talk about where does this myth come from that creatine causes hair loss. Is it justified? And what is the current information out there that either says creatine causes hair loss or it doesn't? And like with all things and the way I try to approach things, things aren't black and white. There's a little bit of gray area. Things are nuanced. Just because creatine might not cause hair loss for somebody doesn't mean that it's not going to cause hair loss for somebody else. That is exactly what I mean, that things are nuanced and there is a gray area. So a lot of people on the internet will get upset about the most random shit because someone said something they don't like or because someone said something they don't agree with. That is not my approach. That is not my philosophy. And I believe that you can have an opinion about something, and it doesn't mean that your opinion about that thing is always right, as demonstrated by people's individual experiences and circumstances and positions on things. And I am rambling on right now just to get the juices flowing. Are live from the dungeons of Ma'moon in the late hours after his kids go to bed, sipping on some tea, attempting to film my video, in which I have not done this in months. In months, I have not sat down to record a proper YouTube video. This is a delicious tea. Does creatine cause hair loss? It is a legit question, and we're going to break it all down. Myth busting style, baby. That's my style. If you are new to the channel, my name is Ma'moon. I am a pharmacist by training, but I'm an entrepreneur, a trainer, and nutrition coach because it's what I enjoy the most. I stepped away from traditional pharmacy to help people get healthy in a more practical and sustainable way. So between building my businesses, raising 3 boys, and juggling real life, I know how hard it is to stay healthy when you are super busy. This channel is where I share advice on health, fitness, supplements, nutrition, and medications, and how you can feel your best even on your busiest of days. Now that we got that out of the way, enough time wasting, and let's get to it. Before we dive into this whole hair loss debate and get a lot of people upset, let's get on the same page about what creatine actually is. It's a natural compound found in your muscles that helps produce more energy, especially during heavy lifting or high intensity workouts. It's also one of the most well-researched supplements out there. We're talking about increased strength, improved performance, more muscle. Who doesn't like that? And newer research is showing many cognitive benefits as well. Creatine is actually one of the most widely studied supplements for both being effective and safe, and not a whole lot of supplements out there can have that badge of honor of both demonstrating that they're effective, meaning they work, and that they're safe, meaning if you take them, no great harm will occur except for obviously hair loss. All kidding aside, we're gonna dive into that in a little bit here about actually whether it does cause hair loss or not. Back to the story. So where did this whole creatine causes hair loss thing even come from? It traces back to a 2009 study that looked at male rugby players. Here's where the logic falls apart completely. First, that 2009 study, it was small, only 20 people, and it didn't even measure hair loss. That's a bit crazy. How can you make the association that creatine, or how can you make that claim that creatine causes hair loss when you didn't even measure hair loss? All you measured was that the hormone DHT levels were increased, but you didn't actually measure whether that translated to actual hair loss or not. Second, follow-up studies didn't find the same results. Since then, we're talking about 12 different trials that have looked at creatine's impact on testosterone. 10 of those found no effect, and 5 of them even looked at free testosterone, which is the kind that converts to DHT. And guess what? They found nothing. Zip, nada, zero. Nothing, guys. Even in that original study, the DHT levels stayed within the normal range. Wow, no one was walking around with crazy high hormone levels. So the whole creatine causes hair loss link, it's built on shaky ground, guys. It's built on a shaky foundation. Now let's fast forward to today, 2025. We finally got the first study that directly tested creatine's effect on both hormone levels and actual hair growth. It was a 12-week randomized trial with 38 trained men. Half took creatine, the other half took a placebo. And the result? No change in testosterone, no change in DHT, and most importantly, no change in hair density, thickness, or follicle count. Bang! Mic drop moment right there. That's a mic drop moment, guys. That is a big deal. It's the first time researchers actually measured hair-related outcomes in a creatine study, and the result was no effect. And the crowd sighs in relief. Now, guys, I can't leave you hanging. So if it's not creatine, what actually is behind hair loss? The big one is going to be genetics. Male and female pattern baldness is mostly inherited. Sorry. Then you've got hormonal imbalances, certain medical conditions, medications. You say medications? Yes, medications. Chemotherapy being the big obvious one that leads to hair loss. Stress, and even poor nutrition. But creatine, it's not on that list, guys, so stop trying to put it on that list. I like to be fair, and in honor of being fair, I will admit that 2025 study was not perfect. It only lasted 12 weeks, and hair loss can take much longer to show up. It was also done in young, healthy guys, so we don't know how this might apply to women, for example, or to people already dealing with hair loss. That said, when you look at the whole body of research, everything we've got on the subject, creatine doesn't deserve the blame that it's getting. So quit it, guys. Quit blaming creatine for hair loss. To wrap this up, the idea that creatine causes hair loss, it's not accurate. It's built on one study that hasn't held up. You can confidently take creatine for performance without having to worry about your hairline. Thanks for watching, guys. Drop a comment below if you've heard of this myth before or believed it. And do not forget to subscribe for more beautiful and sexy, no BS, evidence-based content like this. Catch you in that next video, guys. And if you liked this video, make sure you check out this video I did about telehealth companies like Hims, Ro, and Keeps, and how they're pushing medications to solve the problem of hair loss. And I dive a little bit deep about whether these medications like finasteride are actually safe for you or not. And this video caused quite a bit of stir in the comments, with people agreeing with me, some disagreeing with me, an all-out brawl in the comments. So make sure you check that video out, check out the comments, also give it a thumbs up and share it.